Good morning. Yeah. Hi, Di. Di said her morning is cool, but nothing like the freeze we are experiencing. And you know what, Di? That's absolutely right. We got through round one, and today starts round two. We're going to have more snow and more freezing rain. On our newspaper this morning, the front page of our newspaper was kind of cute. They showed that all of the linemen are still here in town. They're not leaving. They are staying to help us out with this round, and I think that is absolutely awesome. Those guys work like you wouldn't believe in conditions that are absolutely horrible. They deserve all of our praise and our prayers to say stay safe. Hey, Deb, Glendale is 52 with the possibility of rain. Send that our way. 52 degrees. Honestly. Hi, Donna. Donna's here from North Carolina. And Kim. Kim is here from Hotlanta, going to reach almost 90 this week. Carla says the weather in Oklahoma City didn't build up as bad as they thought. Yay! That's a good thing, Carla. And good morning, Linda, my Michigander buddy. And good morning, Terry. I imagine you're thinking of heading home soon. I would definitely wait until these storms are past us. And good morning, Joey. Nice to see you as well. Now, today, as you can see, we are going to talk about curly cues, Spinifex curly cues, and they are one of my favorites. Now, we have the Spinifex curly cues come in two sets, and one set is even numbered. So we go 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 10.5. And then we have this 11.5 wide. I'm going to show you the difference between the regular 11.5 and the wide. Then on the odd size, we have 1.5, 3.5, 5.5, 7.5, 9.5, 11.5. So let's take a look at the difference. When we say 9.5 wide, let me line this up here. You can see what it means here. We're very wide. Let me get this out of the way. We're very wide in the curly Q part of it. So those are the two sets. When I bought them, I only bought one. And then I kicked myself for cheaping out. My husband says I cheap out a lot. So I went ahead and bought the second one. Glad I did. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and set this aside right now. I do want to pull one out because I want to show you some of the lines that are here. So I'm going to go ahead and move that over. Hi, Linda, my friend, and Priscilla. Good morning from Oklahoma. Hello. I hope you guys are having some good weather where you are. All righty. I guess I should have waited a minute. I didn't realize that I started the live early. I'm sorry about that, guys. Hi, Ronnie. Welcome. Good to see you. So, with our curly cues, what we've got going on here as far as markings, we've got a lot of markings here, but the important ones, the vertical center and this horizontal line. This horizontal line is going to be on our where our needle is going to fall right here. Okay. These lines will line up with your spin effect or your lines that you've drawn out. And I'm going to show you some of the lines we're going to look at this morning. I don't want you to freak out because as I was doing this, it dawned on me that it looks like an algebra experiment here or an algebra homework. And that's it. Check that out, guys. These are some of the things we're going to look at this morning, okay? Yeah. What do you think? It looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Okay. I'm glad that they're absolute favorite templates. You know what? I really, really love. Kim tells us that curly cues are her absolute favorite templates. And you know what? I love them too. I really do. Okay, Kim Carla says need to adjust the picture. Um, is this okay, Carla? This is what we're looking for. Okay. Um, Not really sure. Hi, Melanie. That looks like so much fun, and I hope it's going to be. Okay. But the first thing I want to do before we start with our algebra equations, we're going to come over here. I'm going to get you guys all set up. Okay. The coupon code still does not work. Do you know when it will? It says the code has expired. Okay. You know what? I'm going to text Stacy right now. How do you like that? Okay. And let's get a note off to her. There we go. I want these working. There we go. And we've got that sent off. So hopefully she will get that straightened out quickly. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. Di says it should make an interesting sampler and fill blanks with free motion. Yeah, you know what, Di? You're absolutely right. I never even thought of that. That could happen. You're quite welcome, Priscilla. Hopefully, Stacy will get that taken care of right away. The first thing I've done, and is the camera good for everybody? Well, make sure we've got everybody lined up properly here. What I want to do is I want to show you the smallest one, and this is a 1.5 inch, okay? This is tiny. Good morning, Janice. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so we're going to do this really teeny tiny one right here. And I'm going to go ahead and pull my bobbin thread up first. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my needle down. Now, again, what I have in here is I have Deco Bobbin the bobbin, which is an 80 weight thread. So it's very, very thin. I'm going to turn this around this way. There we go. And I have a 40 weight on top because I really want you to see. I've got a high contrast thread here. And I think it's important that you see real clearly. Okay, what I'm doing, I am lining up this horizontal line and this vertical line. I'm going to take one stitch in place. Come on, there we go. Now, with one that is this small, what you want to do is you want to make sure that your stitches are small as well. We need them to be proportionate to the template that we're using. And there we go. Isn't that a cute little guy? Look at how tiny he is. That is amazing. I'm going to go ahead and put my foot down, and I'm just going to free motion over here. Now that was a 1.5. I'm going to be honest, the 1.5 I don't use often. It's just it's so small. It's just adorable, but it is so tiny. So here we go. I'm gonna get rid of some thread here. Now we're gonna move up to a 4.5. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, hit my vertical. The other thing I want to make sure you understand is that we want to make sure that we have stable tape on both sides because I do flip these templates a lot. So it is good to have. Um, oh, Donna, love it. She said, I have the first set, but I'm anxious to see the fat boys. Awesome, Donna. Awesome. Um, Susie, good morning. Don't apologize for being late. Actually, we started just a minute early today. I just have so much I want to show you guys today. Okay, so here's our 4.5. I'm going to take that one stitch in place. And remember to take your time. We're not in any great hurry. If dinner doesn't get made, that's okay. Tell your husband he's going to take you out tonight. That's all. It works. The other thing that works is make sure you burn a few meals and then he'll decide you're a bad cook and take you out every night. Uh-huh. Does it work? Yep, it certainly does. Okay, so here we go. Nice smooth curve. Isn't that beautiful? Love the curly Qs. I'm going to go ahead and stitch it out now to the next line and stop there. What I'm going to do next is that was a 4.5 inch. So let's go back to our odd sizes and I'm going to pick up a 7.5 inch. We're getting to the fat boys. We're almost there, Donna. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do a regular curly Q, and I am going to stop at my vertical center, okay? Making sure that my needle is down in the fabric. So here we are. I have stopped here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to flip that template over. I'm going to make sure that I am lined up on my vertical center. Whoops, it's kind of making a mess here, guys. And I'm going to, there we go. Just had to get that fabric under control. So I'm lined up on my vertical, horizontal. So when I get back down here, I'm exactly where I need to be. And there we go. We're going to take off again. And we're going to come back down and end right where we started. Cool. Love it. Looks like a bowling pin. Oh, yes, it does look like a bowling pin. Passy, good morning. And Barb is here from Ortonville, Wisconsin. Welcome, Barb. And Marsha is here as well. Good morning. Oh, guys, this is so fun. I just love it. So this is the 7.5 inch. Okay. So now we're going to go to the 10.5 inch and we're going to come on over this way. You know, when you're practicing your templates, Practice traveling. That is, this is through years of practice. This isn't because it's the first time that I've traveled along a line, okay? Every opportunity you get, you should definitely practice. Okay, so I may have a problem here. And can you see what that problem is? Anybody? What is going to cause me some grief with this template? Anna's right, stable tape. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put some stable tape on here. You guys are very observant. Awesome. Doesn't take but a second to get this on. And is it worth it? Yes. Am I going to stitch without it? No, I don't want to stitch without it. I'm going to put one here too, right there. Okay, that's much, much better. Or like I tell my kids, oh, that's so much gooder. Well, the kids know it now. It's the grandkids who get a kick out of it. All right, here we go. This is our Curly Q 10.5 inch. Get a little caffeine there so we can keep going. What I like about these larger ones is it gives you this line here to make sure that you're staying lined up on your vertical crosshair. Good morning, Mary Lou, from a sunny and warm Florida. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post. There we go. I'm just going to post the links again as long as I'm over here. Okay, here we go. Now this one, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to stitch this twice. Remember, when we're making curves, we want to keep those stitches just a little bit smaller. I'm going to come over until I hit my vertical line, and then I'm going to stitch back to where I started. Really important to make sure that we keep this template nice and steady. We don't want it to move. If it does, we'll be free motion traveling down to the start of the design. And I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather not if I don't have to. And there we go. They just keep getting better, don't they? Here we go. There. Make sure you can see everything. Greetings, Christina. Christina is down in Costa Rica where the sun is shining. And that is awesome. Okay, so the next two that I'm going to show you is the 11.5 and the 11.5 wide. And I'm thinking I'm going to come all the way to this end line that I have here. And we're going to stop with our needle down. Okay. Here's our 11.5. And again, I need staple tape on these bigger ones. Now, what really freaks me out is that I've never had staple tape on these, and I know I've used them. Oh, goodness. Okay, and here we go. And we're going to do one more right there. Okay, again, this has this awesome line to line up our vertical center. Good morning, threaded lady. She is here from Mesa this morning. Nice to see you. So what I'm doing is I am lining up my vertical line here, and I am going to make one rotation. And I am going to stop at my vertical center. Okay, now just because this is a practice piece and I want you to clearly see the difference between this one and the wide one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break thread here. And this is just for practice, so I'm fine with that. So here is the regular one, the 11.5, and I want to make sure I get these guys back in the right spot. And again, the 11.5 wide, I need stable tape on, guys. Can you believe this? Susie. Oh, you know what? Oh, hi, Barbara. Good to see you. Good to see you. Susie's asked a really good question. And she asked, what do I use to clean the template when the stable tape comes off? First of all, you know what? The stable tape comes off very clean. I will tell you that. It really does. Very, very seldom do I have to use a product, but when I do, it's this one. You do not want to use Windex or window cleaner. You don't want anything with ammonia, alcohol, or any of that. Okay. So you definitely want a acrylic cleaner and polish. Doesn't have to be a polish, but acrylic cleaner. This particular one is good for acrylic and glass, which is fine. But I keep this in my sewing room and don't use it for anything but my templates. I hope that helps, Susie. Hi, Ellen. Donna said she purchased that the last time I showed it. Yeah, to me, it's worth the extra expense to take good care of our templates. Because, ladies, let's be honest, we put a lot of money into purchasing templates if you're anything like me. And to spend a little bit more on a cleaner to keep them in good shape to me is well worth the cost. And I don't think this was very expensive, was it, Donna? I think it was pretty affordable. Okay, Carla, good question. Very, very good question. Carla said, is the whole set of wide or is it just the 11.5 inch that's only wide? Carla, it is only the 11.5 inch that is wide. Okay. We do not have a whole set of wide templates. I would like to see that. I think it'd be awesome. But right now, it's all we have. So maybe in the future, that would be a good suggestion to make. And yeah, I think I will. Oh, no, not every suggestion I make is taken to heart or comes to fruition. So don't hold your breath, okay, guys? But I think it'd be pretty cool. Okay, so now this is the wide. Again, I am lining up my vertical center. It lines up here. I need to move over 1/2 of a stitch. There we go. It lines up here and it lines up here. So let's go ahead and stitch it out and we will see the difference between the two, okay? And I'm put this down, get rid of that. There we go. Now what's cool about this is no It is no higher than the regular 11.5 inch. What is different, and you're going to see right here how it comes out wider. The height is exactly the same. And I'm going to come all the way into my center line, my horizontal or my vertical center, I'm sorry. And let's go ahead. Look at how pretty that is. Oh, there we go. Isn't that cool? I love it. And you know, it would really make a nice, let's do it. Let's do it. If we were to come and turn them, now this is going to be not exact because of the fact that I didn't stop here. Oh, but you know what? We can come over here and do it. I've got an empty line. Let's use the empty line, guys. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's right up. Now this is my 11.5 inch wide. Perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up. I'm going to stop at the top where my vertical center is. Right there, needle down, okay? I'm going to take my template, here are these threads, there we go, and I'm going to flip it. It's like that. Now we're going to come back down. And remember, this is the wide one. And we're going to stop right here with our needle down. Now I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put my regular one on, the 11.5 inch. And let's go this way first. Not that it matters, because it doesn't. I love how they start off in exactly the same place, but they come around and are so much different. And there's my vertical center. Stop and rotate and turn. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. Okay. Sorry, squirreling. Oh, I'm so good at squirreling, guys. My poor husband has to put up with that all the time. I feel bad for him sometimes. Okay, and here we go. And now we're going to come back down. And stop right on that line. Now, what do you think? I love it. Hi, Ellen. Yes, I can show it by itself. Yes. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Donna asked, can I show it by itself? And I believe she means the fat, the wide. So we will do that. Absolutely. Here we go. And I'm just going to draw a straight line here. And I'm just going to draw it up just a little bit further. There we go. And this is our 11.5 inch wide. Who's getting all kinds of ideas? Oh, I know I am. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up our bobbin thread. Don't forget when you do put your staple tape on, I didn't take time to do that this morning, but you want it on both sides. And here is our Spinifex Curly Q 11.5 inch wide. Nice and round. I'm coming back to the vertical center. I think I might have fallen off of my template just a little bit here. Yes, I did. I can go in and fix that if I want. Because of the high contrast thread, anything that I do, any mistake that I make is going to be accentuated. If I was using a thread that closely mimicked the um, how the top of the fabric, you wouldn't even notice that. Okay, so here we go. There is the wide all by itself. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Oh, Anne, hi. Again, I already said hi. Oh, Ellen, have a good day, please. Have a wonderful day. Okay, so Debbie says, I never would have thought of using both 11.5 together, but it looks so cool, doesn't it? You know, this one, I love that. And Donna says she believes that the 11.5 together would make a great border. And you know what? Get out of my head, Donna. I was just thinking the same thing. Donna asked, how could you close up the circle at the top? This one. I assume you're talking about this circle. That's a really good question. So I've never tried it. Let's see what we can come up with. So if we're lined up here and we're close, we're right at the end of our template here, and we flip it over, I think that will help us to close it. So what we'll do, we're going to experiment here. We're going to try it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to make another line here. Okay, guys, I'm thinking this one might be a keeper, so I don't want to stitch over anything that I've already stitched. So we're just going to come this way and we're going to come this way. Just like that. Easy peasy. All righty. So let's go ahead, start at the bottom. Want to make sure that it's in the correct orientation for you to see. Okay. Good question, Donna. You guys are really come up with some great ideas. Oh, let's go ahead and do it this way. Okay. So what we want to do is close this circle. Am I correct? I do believe close the circle at the top. Yes. So this is what Donna is asking here, and I'm going to go ahead and put her up in the show me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and come around to here because I can't go any further. That's as far as my template goes. Nice small stitches, making sure that that circle is nice and round. I'm going to stop right at the vertical center. There we go. Put my needle down. Okay, so what we've got, whoopsie, what we've got is we need now to get from here over to here. So what I'm going to do after I get these threads out of the way, guys. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my template the opposite way. I'm going to line everything up again. All right. I think technically this should work. And my template, yeah, I don't have stable tape on that side, so the template did move just a little bit. But that can be done, and that would be how we would close that circle. How does that look, Donna? You like it? Linda says she's tempted to get these every time she sees a demo. Good morning, Arlie. Good morning from a stormy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I feel your pain. I know exactly what you're dealing with. Oh, okay. Kim said she's got to leave for a while, but we'll be watching several times. You have a great day, Kim. Thank you for being here this morning. Okay, Donna said that did it. That's what she was looking for. Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, it is it is fun. And this could be done in so many ways. And you're right, Anne. It looks like a flower. Ah, Orly was wondering too how you close the top up. Okay, so let's do a little bit of I'm going to be honest with you. This is my favorite right here. I really like what happened here. And I like this. This, if we were to come in and close both of these right here, can you imagine how pretty that would look? Let's go ahead and try it. Okay, so we've got it this way. Now I want to put it over this way. So I'm going to pull my thread up on my vertical center line. And what we're doing here is we are closing up these circles, okay? There we go. So in order to do that, I needed to flip my template when I got to the vertical center line. And this is going to have a little bit of a dip in it because I have had the templates out and I'm putting them back in now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that first stitch in place. And I'm going to come right around here and close that. Oh, you guys. Yeah. This is so much fun. Okay, so we've closed that one. Cool. Now we're gonna come back. Oh, I just ripped some stitches out. I'm not gonna worry about that. This is a practice piece, right? So now I'm going to get the wide early Q 11 and a half. We've already done it that way, so I'm gonna flip it over. And again, I'm going to start here. Mm, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place my template. I am not going to cross over this line. Okay. So this won't be a full circle. This will look like the circle is coming behind the smaller rotation. And there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and clip those threads off. What do you think? Cool, huh? Good morning, Judy. How are you? Judy is from Greenleaf, Wisconsin, right? I think I've got that right. I hope I do anyway. Okay. So this looks good too, guys. I mean, there's so many things that we can do. Okay. Now, let's get our algebra equations out here. Oh, yeah. I've got a lot of them, don't I? We may not make it through all of them today, but let's take a look at what we do have. So, my thought process, I like you guys to know what I'm thinking and sometimes even why. What I looked at here is how can we use the uh, templates in different blocks. And this, of course, it's flying geese, right? Okay, guys, I just got a text from Stacy. Okay, she said everything is fixed. There was an issue with the date, but she went ahead and extended it. So awesome. Awesome, awesome. Oops. Okay. So what we're going to do, way too early for algebra, Debbie. Oh my goodness, it's never too early. I loved algebra. Okay, absolutely loved it. I was one of those crazy kids. I never should have, but I did. Okay, so what I want to show you is how we can make sure that things are going to fit. And I need a drink of caffeine to make sure that I can do this, okay? Oh, guys, this is amazing. Okay, so I'm looking at a 3.5 inch here. 3.5 inch, I think is going to come up short. Where I want to come up is as close to this line as possible. So that was my 3.5 inch. My 4.5 inch, it looks to me like the 4.5 inch is going to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is why I have both sets. It's why you need both sets. Okay. I seriously, I use them all. Obviously, not the real big ones yet. But after this morning, I'm going to be using these big ones a lot more. Guys, what we came up with this morning is just I'm infatuated with it. So I'm going to get my spacing gauge here. What I'm looking for is that I am going to be inside of this seam line. So I am lining my template up. And remember when I told you before, this has so many awesome markings. Guess what? Here's another one. Right here is going to lay on our horizontal line. And our vertical line is going to line up right there. Okay, so let's take a look what I'm talking about. I am talking about this is going to line up. This is going to be our new horizontal line. Okay. And it is going to line up perfectly on here. Our vertical line is going to come up here and it's going to be awesome. It also gives me this line, which is vertical on the block, to look at. So I've got so many points of reference here that I can't mess this up, right? We can do this either way. We can have it come to the outside or have it come to the inside. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this one come to the outside. And in a few minutes, you'll see why I'm doing it that way. Okay, so we're going to start here, come up and around, and back down to center. Okay, all righty, here we go. Let's get our needle down and our bobbin thread up, and it's a short bobbin thread this time. And I'm going to move this way so that you can all see exactly what I'm doing. Here we go. Now, flying geese is a pretty common block. So I'm thinking that we probably will be using this one a lot in our quilting. So here I've lined up, going to take my one stitch in place. Remember to keep those stitches short. You definitely want them a little short. And this is perfect. It absolutely just skims the seam line. Oh, let's slow down a little bit. I'm going way too fast, guys. Okay, and back to center. Now I am going to take this and I'm going to do the one opposite. Okay, let's move it this way. Look at here where I did use a 16 point, 16 crosshairs on this one. Obviously, I didn't use 16 because it's only just a portion of it, but if I had gone all the way around, it would have been 16. Okay, so here we go. And around again and back to center and needle down. Okay, gonna take that out and gonna cut off this thread right here. There we go. Cool. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to measure this. Because we're coming up on that angle, the 4.5 is no longer going to work, is it? So that's not a problem. I'm just going to take my 3.5 out. My 3.5 is a little short, but it's what I have to use. Because I don't have a 4 inch. I've got a 4.5, I've got a 3.5, but I don't have a 4 inch. So this one's just going to be a little smaller. And what we can do is we can actually, let's take the 4.5 inch back out. What we can do is we can go ahead and just slide this template down so that we just again graze that seam line. I think that's going to look better. I gotta move this over just a half a stitch. There we go. All right. So again, this is going to be too large. So I'm going to move my template down till I hit the area that I want to hit. And what I want is I want this curl to just graze this seam line. Around we go and back to center. And there. Nice, right? We're going to flip it and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Using our spacing gauge, we're going to come down and we're going to make sure that that just grazes that seam line. Perfect. I love it when a plan comes together, don't you? Awesome. Back at center. How are we looking so far? I love it. Okay. Oh, Linda asked a good question. What is the size of the flying geese block? Okay, let me measure it out. It is 3 by 6. Okay, Linda, 3 by 6. All right. So now let's take and we're going to keep with this one and let's go ahead and see if it's going to fit perfectly. By golly, look at that. It's going to fit perfect, guys. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so off we go. This is the one thing that excites me most about the flying geese, or not the flying geese, the curly cues. I'm sorry. They are so easy to fit in any shape. Okay, we're going to do one on this side now. And again, we have all of these lines that we're lining up. Perfect. And back to center. I'm loving it. Okay. Now what we're going to see is this 4.5 inches too small. Could it work in here? Yes, absolutely could. I, however, want to fill up as much of this space as possible. So I'm going to get my 5.5 inch out. And look at that. It is perfect, guys. It is absolutely perfect. Okay, Priscilla, I am so glad you asked that question. By chance, did you tell Stacy about the code not working on last night's templates? Yes. And she just texted me that all the codes should be working. So we should be going, or should be doing fine. I'm sorry. Donna says, I have a quilt with 12 blocks that have 4 flying geese in each block. I was going to do dot to dot, but I think I may do these. I think these will be beautiful, Donna. I really, really do. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this one is, you see I have my curly cues facing right and my curly cues facing left. So what I'm going to do on this one is I am going to stitch until I get to my vertical center. And I'm going to stop with my needle down, and I'm going to flip my template, line it back up, make sure everything's lined up appropriately, and here we go. And there we are. Beautiful, right? Now the question is, what do you do out here? Well, I might have an answer. And do I want to put more curly cues out there? I could, but I really want this portion to shine. And if I start putting more curly cues this way, which you certainly could do, I'll do it on one half of it. I'm thinking it might get too busy. So what I'm going to do on this half is I'm going to just take my 4-inch arc. Now I'm going to pull this bobbin thread up. Okay, and put that needle back down. There we go. Take my 4-inch arc, use my spacing gauge. This is exactly where I want it to be. Come here to the to the corner to the middle. Okay, one of those mornings. And then I'm going to bring it back over here. Okay. Now I could bring it back up here, but I would need a longer arc. As you can see, the 4-inch doesn't work. I kind of just like it that way. I think it makes a nice little motif. It finishes the block out without a whole lot of excess fussiness or busyness. Now, if, however, you want to go ahead and put something in here, I'm going to grab my, there it is. This is going to be my 8 rotation. And I'm going to go like this. And do I dare? Do I dare? What do you think? Okay, and like this. There we go. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a look. Obviously, the 2.5 is too small. 3.5, still too small. Let's take the 4.5. 4.5 is too big, unless we pull it down. So what we want to do going to line up this line with the horizontal, this line with the vertical. Pull my bobbin thread up in the corner. And basically, I'm going to mimic what we did in the center. Get my spacing gauge. Okay, guys. Who stole my spacing gauge? Okay. There we go. Take my one stitch in place. I'll turn this around so you've got a better view of it. Okay. Get rid of that thread. Those threads really bother me, don't they? And I'm going to use my spacing gauge just to be sure. It's going to come back about one stitch. There we go. Okay, back to center. And now it's going to be way too big. So I have two choices. One is to shorten it by moving it down. The other choice is to check out how the 3" is going to be. And it's going to be small, but let's try it. I'm going to do it in each direction. Up to center. Okay. Let's get this guy put away so I don't lose him. Now I'm going to do the old twisty. Line it up again. And come back down to the corner. That works. That does work. It's a lot of busyness. If you like busy and a lot of quilting, and some of us, me included, don't think there's any such thing as too much quilting, right? So that will work. That will work. I kind of like how that does it with the small one in there. Okay, let's see what everybody is saying. All right. Carla says, I wish I had these back when I did my granddaughter's quilt. It was half flying geese. Then wouldn't have had to pay someone else. Hey, Carla, you know what? That's a great point. And that's what we're here for. We want you to be able to do your project from start to finish. And that's what these templates allow us to do. Isn't it wonderful? And not only that, when we're doing it, we're putting our own personality into it. Linda loves this one. Donna says, no, don't put in the third side. I like it as it is. It looks like a curtain showcasing the girls. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Would I, if I was doing a quilt, I would not put this in. You certainly can put it in. It's just a matter of preference. Okay, Donna? Definitely. And Threaded Lady Joyce says, I think the arcs are better than the additional girly cubes. That seems to be the theme. Donna says, "I don't care for the second side. I like the first side. It makes it look like a cobra." And all of his snake friends, oh my gosh. Donna, I don't know what the matter is with you, but I never thought of it. Now that you say it, I see snakes. Ah. You guys are so funny. But yeah, I personally like this a little better. Okay, guys, we're starting to run out of time, and I really want to show you this circle, okay? Um, of course, listen to me. Have we ever finished on time? I don't think we ever have. I'll be honest with you. Okay, a circle. What's really cool? I don't know if you guys are aware of it. We have a circular um, crosshair ruler, and that's what I used for this little guy. And yeah, okay. Everybody says the arcs. Everybody says the arcs. Good job. Good job, guys. Um, so anyway, what I've got here is I have a 6-inch circle and I have 16 crosshairs on it. I have marked 4 inches out on the odd numbered crosshair lines. I'm real big on odd and even numbers, okay? I don't know why. It's just it helps me in my brain know where I'm going. Okay, I hope it helps you too. So I'm going to go ahead, put my needle down and draw my bobbin thread up in the center. I'm going to do half one way and half another if there's time. Okay. So I'm going to start testing my templates. And by golly, it looks like picked I picked a 6.5 inch. My circle is obviously 6.5 inches, and that's just going to fit. So let's go ahead and use the 6.5 inch on all of the odd numbered lines only. Okay, one stitch in place. We're going to come up and around. Look how perfectly that fits. And we're going to come back to center. And we're going to put that down so I can cut these threads. Coffee time with my friends. This is awesome, guys. Okay. Priscilla, yes, you are right. Uh, as soon as we are done here, I will call out there, okay? Because I know that that's correct. Um, I It's real early out there, so that's why. Must you order the entire set to get the discount? I don't think so, Di. I'm pretty sure you can order one or two or anything like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this 6.5 inch on my odd numbered lines, and I'm going to do it just normal. This particular side, we're going to do normal. Normal is odd for me. And we're going to come back to center, needle down. Make sure you've got that needle down. That is so important. And out we're going to go. Around we go. Not going all the way around on these. And back to center. And this will be the last one because I'm only going to do half. Now this one is going to be a pretty simple design. Going to be pretty clean. When I say clean, I mean not a lot of stitching. That's just my word for it. Okay, so here's our 6.5. Now we easily could do this all the way around. What it what it reminds me of is it reminds me of Christmas. And the reason it reminds me of Christmas is peppermint candy. Okay, when it comes to food, I'm right there always. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take the 5.5 inch. Oops, wrong way. I want to go in the same direction, and that's going to be on the even numbered lines. Okay, and here we go. Oh, I'm not lined up perfectly. There we are. I got it this time. The thread is going to get somewhat thick in the center. There's no doubt about it, but I know you guys can handle it. And we're going to stop there, and we're going to do 2 more of these, okay? And this will be our last one on this design. Here we go. Oh, I got to bum it. Isn't that cool? I'm thinking, um, okay. Okay, Daniela said that it does not work. I don't see the set. Orly, you're right. The iris templates do not come in a set. They come individually. Okay. Di, I don't believe you have to order the entire set to get the discount. Danielle said it still does not work. Okay. Um, really, Carla says she would like the 11.5 inch wide only, but it's not offered that way. I'm so sorry, Carla. I really am. Okay. Linda says they can be ordered individually. She says she sees them all listed as separate, even the 11.5 inch wide. Just search curly and then separate, not set one or set two will come up. Okay, does that help, Donna or Carla? Carla, you can order the one. Search Curly Q brings up 3 sets options. Okay. Okay, good. All right, girls. Okay, now, all right, it's like 10 after. Do we want to keep going or have we had enough for this morning? I know I have way more um, ideas than we have time because curly cues are one of my most favorites. So Carla says yes. Is that yes to you've had enough or yes to keep going? Oh, that's good. I don't want to overstay my welcome. Let's put it that way. Yes, keep going. Okay, I'm game, Susie says. Okay, let's keep going then. Let's keep going. This one, what I want to do on this side is I'm going to do things a little differently. We're going to come from the outside in, and I think I want to use my 4.5. I think the 4.5 is going to be the perfect size to do that. And this is the 5.5. The 5.5, as you can see, is going to come in here, but I'm afraid that it's going to be too big and it's really going to get muddy right around here. So that's why I am choosing the 4.5 for this orientation. So here we go. This is going to be our number 1. We're going to go backwards here, but that's okay. All right, let's pull that thread up. Pull that needle up. I need to, okay, good. I just needed to make sure I didn't have something scheduled at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock here this morning, and I don't. So we can keep playing. Yay. Okay, I'm going to turn this around so it's facing you. Good. Now we're going from the outside to the inside. Really weird ideas, I know, but I think that it's going to turn out cool. I did not draw this one out yet. So we're seeing it done for the first time live. Beautiful. And we're going to come back to the outside center. Now, the dreaded T word. We need to travel, guys. Oh, come on, threads. Get out of here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to travel. Remember, when you travel, go at a nice, slow, steady pace. Don't stop until you get where you're going. Okay. So now I'm going to take, that is the 4.5. I'm going to take the 5.5 and I'm opposite direction. And here we go. This is going to give us some oddball shapes. But that's what quilting is about, isn't it? It's all about shapes, whether it be a square, a triangle, or whatever. We're doing shapes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and travel on that circle and stop here. I'm going to repeat that. And what you're going to notice is we are not going to run over the last motif or the last rotation. And back up and all the way back to the outside center and stop right here. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to stitch. And now we want our big one again, which is the 5.5. And there we go. What I love about our templates is that we can do so many unexpected things with them. And sometimes the designs work and are awesome. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes they just plain don't work at all. It happens. But that's why we draw things out. We get an idea, we draw something out, and then we do a flop, right? But the flop gives us an idea on what we can do next that's going to be even cooler yet. So we just got to keep going, girls. And we're going to make beautiful quilts. And like Carla pointed out, she would have been able to finish her quilt at home as opposed to sending it out to a long armor, which I have nothing against long armors. Okay, my best friend is a long armor, but they're limited where we are not limited with our templates and our imagination. And that's a good feeling. And to be able to hand something to someone and they said, "Did you do this whole thing? That's amazing." And while they're gushing over it, you're smiling, saying, "I did, and I did it for you." So, how much better can it get? And think about those grandchildren's quilts and great grandchildren's quilts. I'm actually making quilts now for great grandchildren. And I hope that those turn out to be treasures for them. Hopefully, it will be some of my great grandchildren may remember me, some won't, but they'll always have that piece of me and my heart that went into that quilt. Because that's what it is. It's a labor of love. And when we make a quilt, we have a little bit of our heart in there for the recipient. Even if it's somebody we don't know, Quilts of Valor, Quilts Going to, I really think that there's so many worthy places that we can send our quilts. We can send them to our Veterans Administration hospitals. We can send them to pet shelters. We can, send them send them to police. We have loaded up our squad cars in our county with quilts as a community project to give to children who are being displaced from their homes or have lost their homes due to fire or whatever. Then they have that one thing that they can hold on to and have with them forever. So, yeah, I just think we should definitely, definitely be angels of mercy. And I'm not going to go another one here, and spread our love in that way. Okay. That's as sappy as I'm ever going to get. So here we go. Here it is doing our curly cues to the inside. Now, if we wanted to, I'm just going to get these fellows back in their rightful spots here. Again, we could take our 4-inch arc and we could go between these with an arc that would represent maybe ground coming up. But aren't they fun? I don't know. I just think they're fun. Hi, Diane. How are you? Ronnie had to leave. Oh, I'm so sorry. Lori, hi. And Susie said, interesting aspect. She never would have thought to use the template this way. The design from the outside. Yeah, you know what? If anybody's going to come up with something weird, it's going to be me. Oh, Suzanne, I love this. She says, I love finishing my quilts with rulers. It makes me feel like I can actually finish them in a creative way. Suzanne, that makes my heart smile. It really, really does. Okay, yeah. Um, Donna says her quilt guild sends baby quilts to hospital. It's great for practicing the templates. And it is. It really is. I have a grandson who was in the NICU for quite some time after he was born. And they did have a homemade quilt over the top of his isolette, and he still cherishes that quilt. And he's 25 years old. So, what does that tell you? Okay. Okay, so Donna brings up a good point. Please call the pet shelter before taking a quilt. They may not want them, and that's us. You know, that's okay too. That's true. Okay, I want to do at least this one, and what this is going to be is this is going to be just an example of a little um, border that we can use. Okay, and I'm going to use this small one. Let me get my thread in there first. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and put this down. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put one in here and I'm going to flip it at the top. Okay. I don't know if you have noticed, but when I get started, I'm kind of like, I kind of press my presser foot like I do my car accelerator pedal. I start out slow and I then move up in speed. I just slowly increase the speed until I get to where I'm comfortable. I'm not a I don't like slamming that presser foot down, or I'm sorry, I don't like slamming that foot pedal down, and it's just me. If you're comfortable doing it that way, that's fine. Okay, so here we go. Gonna close this up, and we're gonna come back to center here. And I'm going to stop with my needle down, and I'm just going to go ahead and rotate my template and do the second half here. Now, if I was doing a border, I would go ahead and go around and do this step all the way around. There we go. Whoops. Got discombobulated there for a second. Okay. Stop there. Okay, simple. Very simple. And if you have, I would come back here then, flip the rotate the template and keep going. It's pretty. It would look really darling in a small sashing. But we're going to do one thing. We're going to go ahead. Yep, I need a smaller template, which is what I expected. Okay, that is the 4.5, so we're going to go to the 3.5. Okay, so now what I'm going to do So I'm going to, yeah, I'm not going to draw lines on this. I'm going to use the lines on my template to line up and keep going. Okay. What I mean by that is now I have made this line my vertical. I'm lining up, let me start that again. I'm lining up this marking line on my vertical line on my quilt. Okay. My horizontal line is lining up here. That way, what I know is that I'm getting the same the same direction each time I do this. So here we go. This is the 3.5. And again, I'm going to stop at my highest point here. I'm going to go ahead and flip the template. I'm going to realign these lines on my template so I know that I am aligned perfectly. And I'm going to come back to center. Okay. Going to go ahead and do the other side. I need to go about a quarter of a stitch. There we go. Stop at the top vertical center. Flip my template. There we go. Lined up. Okay, there. I had the top off just a little bit. And back to center. And I'm going to do this set one more time. I love having all of these lines to use to make sure that I'm on at the right angle. And we're going to come up, stop at the center, needle down. And I'm going to flip this around and come back to center. Again, lining everything up. And we're going to do this one more time. And it's going to be across from where we are now. Okay, lining up. Keeping stitches small. Ooh, I almost went all the way around. I didn't want to do that. I stopped just in the nick of time, eh? All right, so we're going to line this up again. And we're going to come back to center. Okay, almost done. This is the 3.5. So next I'm going to go to the 2.5. Set that down. And I'm going to go right out the side. Stop at the center. Flip this around. I know it's a lot of flipping, but you know what? This design is going to be so worth it. One more, and we'll have the entire design in. Getting excited to see it yet? Come around this way. And there we go. What do you think? Love that design. Absolutely love it. And what a great border this would be. Now, you don't have to link these. You can put a 1-inch space and do another whole design. That will work too. Actually, I think it will work better, but you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, this is what I would consider a really nice little border design. Oh, you guys are too funny. Hi, Pacola. Nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here. You guys are, I'm glad you're enjoying this. I really am. This this is one of my favorite sets. Okay, and I'm sure you can see why. Because the options are non-ending. We can do things so unexpected. We can fill up shapes. And you know, that's what quilting is. It's shapes. Okay, yes, I can do that. Okay. Oh, wrong way, Corgan. There we go. There's all the designs for that. And then don't forget, we did all of these as well, right? So, I mean, we really packed a lot in here this morning, guys. And I'm just so glad we did. To be honest, I am just so glad. Here, let me try this. You don't need those little ones. There we go. Okay. There we go. So there are some of the designs that we did today. My camera just got whacked. There we go. Okay. Ah, okay. So, oh, Linda, you're so welcome. She says, thank you for your time. I just enjoy spending coffee with you guys. It really does make my heart smile. Donna, I'm glad you're gonna get the fat boy. I think you're gonna like it. Oh, Di. Oh, yeah. Di, this is so funny. Di says, "I thank you, Kathy, but my budget doesn't." I understand. I totally understand. There are so many rulers, and there's so many things that we can do with them. And, you know, I get excited when I get a new set of rulers. I really, really get excited. Still, I don't think there will ever come a day when I don't. Um, uh, my husband has no idea how much I've spent on rulers, and please don't tell him. Uh, you guys, this has just been a wonderful morning. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you continue to support me, and it really does make my heart smile. I enjoy seeing each and every one of you here Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. You know, if I could, I'd invite you all over here to come and quilt for a day with me. I think that would be the most fun thing to do. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. We've got So Steady YouTube channel, and we have 906 Quilting YouTube channel. And we will keep our videos up. Sadly, YouTube will shut them down at 30 days. I suppose they just have run out of space. Donna comes up with a great idea. She would love a retreat with you all, and I think that would be a wonderful thing. Aura Lee, thank you. We do have some more storms coming this way. The advantage to this time when we get the ice, we've got the linemen here. And honestly, my heroes don't wear capes, guys. They wear badges, they wear firefighting gear, they're ambulance attendants, and they're linemen. They wear hard hats. Um, it's just it's just amazing what those guys do to keep us going, and I like it. I love them all. They're wonderful. So anyway, oh yeah, water rescue teams, Donna. We've got a diving team here with our police departments that do a wonderful job. So next week we are going to do F6. No, F5. I'm sorry, F5. We are going, oh no, we're going to do F4. Oh my gosh, it's April already. I'm looking at the wrong month. Okay, so we're going to do edge to edge F4. On Tuesday, we're going to do the mini Baptist fan. And on Wednesday, we start in on the Spinifex series. And remember, we're going backwards. So we're going to do Spinifex 16. I will not be here Monday the 21st, Tuesday the 22nd, or Wednesday the 23rd. And I will not be here Monday the 28th. I will be traveling and in Paducah those days. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you in person at Paducah. Di says after COVID, there was some talk about a retreat, but it never happened. Well, maybe we should see what we could do about that, Di. Okay. Uh, yeah. I am excited about it. It's the first time that I'm going and demonstrating at a big show. So please pray for me that I don't get so nervous just mess everything up. Terry, you're right. Facebook only will let the videos stay 30 days. YouTube will let the videos stay indefinitely at this point. Okay, so we're good to go there. So if there's no more questions, I will again call and double check on the deal day 20% coupon. And it just may take a few minutes for them to take effect. I'm not sure. But I will see you all next week. Until then, stay safe, stay warm, and let's quilt.